Welcome back to another episode of Siam Technology College's Sustaining Success Series, also known as S3. This sustainability education podcast aims to showcase the diverse roles and best practices in sustainable business, climate change, net zero, ESG, creating business value, and other sustainability-related topics with real-world examples. Our goal is to inspire learners and leaders to take action that will help build a more sustainable workforce. I'm your host, Ryan Frazier, Special Advisor to the President of Siam Technology College and Managing Partner and CEO of Frazier Global. My co-host is Mr. Art, STC Professor and Sustainability Education Program Associate. Today, we are very pleased to have a special guest with us today, 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐢𝐧𝐢𝐬𝐭 who is the Vice President, Company Secretary, Governance and Compliance. Welcome on the S3.
Thank you so much. And let me สวัสดีค่ะ in Thai first. Yeah.
It is so great to have you here today. I want to start off with, Rasami, you telling us a little bit about your company and your role.
Okay. I work for the holding company, which have like three businesses in our segments, which is the property development, the healthcare service, and as well as the e-commerce service as well. Yeah.
And the name of the company is?
Yeah, actually, I'm work in the compliance side with around the company secretary, compliance, governance, and sustainability as well.
Yeah, and the name of the company. Right?
Oh, okay, the 𝐻𝑒𝐿𝑚 Holding Company. Sorry. Just nervous.
Well, it's great to have you on regardless. Okay. And now talk to us a little bit about how you got to where you're at. Like, because you obviously went to college and you started off early in your career and you've gained some experience and now you're doing this important role as Vice President, Company Secretary of Governance and Compliance. How did you get here?
Okay, actually I work with the telecom company first. I have been work for the compliance side and company secretary. And after that, around 5 years ago, I have been asked by my supervisors if you want to explore more challenge about your job. So she took me to do around the Dow Jones Sustainability Index first, and then the strategy development on the sustainability angles. And that is why I have worked for the sustainability side around 10 years ago.
Wow, so 10 years in this kind of specialization.
Yeah, that's right. But the governance and the company secretary and compliance are still there.
Okay, wow. Well, I mean, you are obviously doing some really cool stuff, and especially as it relates to sustainability and sustainable development. And Mr. Art and I were talking offline, and we were like, what is something that we think STC or any student might ask someone like you? And you had a question that came to mind.
Yes, well, a very basic one. In your opinion, what is the importance of ESG in today's world?
Actually, you have to know the important is this. If you don't understand how is the important to your bottom line, to your company bottom line, to your country bottom line, you can't do it efficiently. You have to understand in depth also about the business mind. What is your CEO? What is your company founder think? So you have to incorporate the ESG themselves to that mindset to make them understand how it is important, how important it is, and how it will drive or support our bottom line as well. This is a linkage between the finance one and the sustainability, the ESG aspect. If you can do that, you cannot drive the company in that way.
Right. Yeah. So a very important part of the strategy as well.
That's right.
Okay.
But first of all, you have to understand the CEO mindset first. Yeah. Because if you want to convince him or her, you have to know what are they looking for.
Right. That's a very, very interesting point that you make. And you all are doing several things at 𝐻𝐿𝐴 that I think would be interesting for some of our viewers to hear about. Talk to us through how you're applying sustainability initiatives at your companies.
Well, actually, I started from the communication. As you may know, because I already mentioned before, you have to convince the CEO and the company founder as well. They focus on the net profit. They focus on the revenue generation. They focus on the competitions. So if you can convince them by using the ESG to make more strategic competitive ones, they will buy in. And then if they buy in, they will drive it, For example, I can give you some example about my new products. Yeah, it is called low carbon precast, which is Pixar Holding for precast. Our subsidiary is the first one in Thailand that we adopt this initiative. And we have certified by the TGO as well. And also we collect some technology from the Australian company to integrate in that low carbon because we use less cement and reduce the cost. And we also can tackle more challenge about the customer expectation as well. Because, we not only provide your product, but we can provide you the service as well, like a data for your report, because most of our customer is the listed company as well. They need to do the sustainability report, they need to report the regulator. So if you use our product, we can provide you the data as well. This is how we create the value to our product and service.
Wow.
This is just give you an example. Furthermore, last year we have adopted the pre-hold certificate as well. These standards is about the green property development. When you select the construction material, you have to think about what is the environmental friendly materials for your building or your house. But it is a must that they have to reduce the cost as well. This one is our daily mindset for our procurement team.
It's awesome. And one of the things I really appreciate about what you said in terms of really aligning with your leadership, your COO and CFO is what I heard is you really need to link it to how it drives the business. And, it makes an impact on, you mentioned competitiveness. When I talk to folks I work with in the private sector or even governments, I always focus on how sustainability can drive three things: risk reduction, cost reduction, and as you said earlier, revenue generation. So sometimes we look at ESG and sustainability and we think only the risk side, but there's the opportunity side.
That's
right. New markets, people want to buy more sustainable products and goods, and so there are opportunities there. But all that links back to the business and the financial implications. So, Rasami, I'd like it if you would take a moment and point out the linkage between sustainability and finance.
Okay. Well, actually, the first thing that you need to do is you need to do the stakeholder expectation. Each of your key stakeholder, for example, I can develop the sustainability product if the customer wants. But if you develop them, but this is not the expectation of customer, is nothing, right? So you have to understand the stakeholder expectation by doing the stakeholder engagement. You have to know what is the focus or what are the focus of the CEO and the founder as well. And then you can link it, for the financial side, it is a KPI. It is a company indicator, and every CEO have to point out in it, And you can link the ESG into that KPI, into that mindset. You can convince them, and then he or she may buy in. So it is important that you can link between the finance perspective, the financial perspective, and the CEO KPI, and then the product and service on environmental friendly and social goods.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier how you have responsibility for reporting and compliance, making sure you all do that for the company, which obviously for me, as someone who's very knowledgeable and involved with what's coming out of the IFRS, S1, S2, with the sustainability, financial material sustainability reporting standards. Can you share with us, Rasami, how you look at addressing meeting the expectations of those standards in the future? I know it's not required yet, but it's not only becoming best practice so that investors, creditors, lenders understand the linkage between sustainability and financial implications. But it also is becoming more required in jurisdictions all around the world who are saying that we believe it's important for investors, creditors, lenders to have that information. How do you see that, the importance of the IFRS standards and where that's going in Thailand?
Actually, it is very important because, it is a regulatory requirement in the next 2 or 3 years. I think this is the smart way of our governance to adopt it in Thailand. If you do like a voluntary basis, the listed firm or other firm may not be applied if they are not ready yet, right? But if it is the regulatory compliance, it should be. It's a must. I think this is important, and currently our CFO are monitoring it. We also engage with the Federal of Accounting Standard of the Thailand to understand the context, the perspective, and the requirement that we need to do in the next 2 or 3 years as well. They also have like a Thai version already, and we have provided some input to them. Yeah, but for the small and medium size of the company, because my company is a large company, right? For the small and medium size, it is some difficulty arise because they contain some costs to study, to understand, and also to communicate to others, team member as well, to apply this standard and to make the disclosure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious along those lines, and not just with the reporting and compliance, but given that, Pruska, you're a holding company, and
Yes.
as you mentioned to me, in that holding company, you have several companies. You mentioned property development, healthcare, like hospitals, and e-commerce. How do you work with the companies within your holding company on sustainability and ESG?
Actually, because we are the mother company, right? And those company is a subsidiary. So we developed the strategy, we developed the communication message, and we set up like a working team in each of business segment. Not only the company, but we select some of the key person in each business segment, and we communicate to them, train the trainer, and then we meet monthly basis, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we want to follow up the impact, the results, and then how we can improve. Yeah,
Yes.
this is how the mother company conduct the business. Is it something like an oil and gas company, the biggest one as well?
Right.
Is it the same principles?
Right. And you have accountability built into this process.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
You hold them accountable
That's right.
for performance.
That's right. The communication message, the platform, the strategy, and the follow-up session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, let's pivot a little bit, Rasami, because Mr. Art here, I know, is just jumping at the bit to ask you some questions from a student perspective. We hope that many STC students, as well as students from other universities, will tune in to this podcast to learn from people like you and your experiences and what you're doing in sustainability and how you're using ESG. And so, Mr. Art, I know we were talking offline in terms of the perspective from students. What do you think something students would ask Rasami?
Well, yeah, one of the things that came up was you talk about you have to buy in with the CEOs and present all these ideas of ESG and how it could link to different aspects. From a student point of view, do you have any kind of advice or recommendation, especially relating to the knowledge or skills that they would need to prepare themselves, to actually be in that field and work with these, all these different terms and linkages and connections?
Well, okay. ESG is no longer just only doing good things, right? So if you want to drive it successfully, you have to understand your stakeholders. This is the first thing. One of the things that you need to understand your stakeholder, because you have like 100 stakeholders or 1,000 stakeholders, right? You have to select the key person that you need to understand or you need to talk to. This is the key point. So if you understand them in depth, you will know what is their focus, what are their focus as well. So you can talk like the same language of them. The ESG is not only the theory, right? It is a practice. The efficiently practice of both business and social, environment as well. So if you don't understand these three aspects, it is not the sustainability. It is just only the CSR.
Yeah.
It's different between sustainability and CSR, right?
That's right.
If you do the good thing, without the financial impact, it's called CSR.
That's right.
You know, so if you want to drive it or if you want to buy in it, if you understand only the ESG side, you didn't understand the stakeholder expectation or the business sense. You will fail in the future.
So do you think if you were talking to yourself when you were in university a couple years ago, you're welcome. What would you tell yourself if you were like, I think you should study or you need to learn more about these types of things? Is there something you would tell yourself when you were if you today yourself today would tell yourself in university?
Unfortunately, this is like a 20 years old.
I didn't say it. You did.
Okay. I think, sorry.
No, you're okay.
I think it is good to graduate from the economics. Because I graduated from econ of the 𝐻𝐿 University. But at that time, the sustainability or ESG have not been applied to the academic terms, But one of the mindset that I have built since I was in the university is something like when you think about the economic growth, you have to think like a 360-degree. What is your risk? What is the challenge that you have to tackle or you have to manage? This is something like a sustainability. The ESG or sustainability is not a new thing. It is just like something that you have to think about how you achieve your career, how you achieve your business, how you can run every daily life smoothly. Is it something that is not new for me, I think.
I think you're right. I think it's not new for a lot of people. The terminology may be new for people, like what is ESG or why is it important? But when you break it down and look at the core issues of ESG and sustainability, right? These things are not new. Reducing your energy consumption or improving your use of renewable energies or being better stewards of water resources.
Yes, that's right.
Or treating people with dignity and respect and ensuring that their health is a priority in your companies.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? These are not new things.
Yeah.
But I think the concept of ESG and sustainability is helping people better understand how you can measure these things so that you can hopefully create value and preserve value of companies and investments and things like that. So, and I would say my advice to kind of piggyback on Rasami's advice is to really for students to take time to pursue sustainability related education courses in school to try to understand that sustainability is a broad topic. It's not just environmental. It's also social and economics, right?
Governance.
And governance, and understand that it can apply and have impact on every aspect of your life, of the company and business that you're in. One of the things, Rasmi, as we move to wrap up today's podcast with you, I wanted to ask though, is why is this important for Thailand?
Actually, it is important for everybody. I think if I can answer more about the student questions.
Sure.
You have to think about yourself. The sustainability is something like you think about yourself. How can you sustain your life? You have to be careful about stepping into a higher level of the escalators or something like that, or the elevator. You have to take care of it. Or about the earthquake. What should you do when the earthquake occurred? It is something you have to think about yourself first. So this is the one thing that I told you, that it is 360-degree of your mindset, of your thought. The sustainability is something like that, for the country. Because country have many contexts, right? And Thailand is not only the country in the world, the only one in the world. Thailand is not. We have to connect with other countries as well. For the regulatory requirement, it is not ourselves only. We have to comply with other country laws and regulation as well. This is just one point. For the social movement or something like that, it is not only ourselves as well. Because you have to connect, you have to contact with other people. If you don't know what or what is important to them, or what is the challenge that we may face in the future, you cannot prepare yourself to sustain your life or to sustain your country. I'm not sure if it's proper to give this example. If you don't know the Donald Trump, the tariff one, you cannot prepare your country because you don't know him, you don't know his mindset. This is something I call the sustainability as well. You have to know every angles to sustain your life, to sustain your country.
Yeah. One of the things I picked up, Rasami, as you were talking, and I picked this up with some of my other guests on the S3 podcast here, and that is there's a passion that is very clear that you have. I like to say this is not just business and corporate, it's also personal for you, that this is something you can tell you really care about. Why?
Because I'm a human. And I care and I have feeling, right? If I don't have a feeling, I'm just a robot.
Yeah. I think it's important for students and those who are watching to understand that this doesn't just have to be about business and corporate affairs or big investment funds. This can be personal to you as well. How we take care of the natural environment, how we take care of each other is important. And believe it or not, has a lot to do with sustainability more broadly. So that's a wrap for another episode of the S3, the Sustaining Success Series, Siam Technology College's Sustainable Education Podcast. I want to thank our guest, 𝐿 𝐮𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐢𝐧𝐢𝐬 for joining us here today at Siam Technology College. For my co-host, Mr. Art, I'm Ryan Frazier. Till next time.